Steins Gate 0. I mean, if you haven't seen Steins Gate, then you shouldn't be watching this. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's a sequel. So at the end of Steins Gate, massive spoilers beyond this point, by the way. At the end of Steins Gate, the original, they do something to the timeline. And if you've seen it, you know what that is. And there's a good end. But every good end has a bad end, and this is the bad end. This is if Makise dies. And unfortunately, the episode is like half treated, like you don't know that, which kind of feels weird. But I only felt like that like in the beginning of the episode, like the first half of it. Towards the end, I was like, okay, yeah, we get it. So it starts out in 2036 on June 7th with Mayu pondering what if she had done things differently, and she keeps saying, if I had just reached out this hand, would things be different? And it's just her pondering to Suzuha while she's holding some like little girl. The little girl is not referenced at all. You don't see her face. Nobody's like, who's that little girl? So I don't know. She's either so normal, she's irrelevant, or she's like important, but the two characters talking know that she's important, so there's no reason to reference her. And then it jumps back to 2010, which I think is when Steins Gate originally came out. No. Well, it came out in 2011, but I'm going to guess it's set in 2010 because it's set in December 2010, and at some point, Okabe says, I can't believe it was just a couple months ago. That summer feels like it was only days ago. So anywho, it starts out with Okabe seeing a hypnotherapist, and he finishes and he leaves the building. He's greeted by Mayushi, and she's like, how was it? I know you've been having a rough time. And he's like, yeah, it was pretty alright. I need to keep seeing him, but yeah, I think it was worth it. So this is already very different. He's ditched the lab coat and less than new T-shirt, and he's got just like all black slacks, black sweater, black sports jacket, and Mayushi suggests that they go eat at Akihabara. Well, at first Okabe's like, let's go eat, my treat. And she's like, can we go to Akihabara? And he's like hesitant. And that used to be his mecca. But he's like, sure, we'll go. And they arrive to see Ferris and Ruka, and Ferris is like, hey Kyoma, and he's like, I gave up that name. That name belongs in the dark past. Please stop. And so like, Kyoma's gone. It's dead. The lab coat's gone. The jokes are gone. The serious Chunibyo is gone. It's all gone. This is just Okabe. Rintaro Okabe. They ask him what he's been up to, and he's been doing normal shit. Tennis club, college seminars. And this is the point where I was like, I think they're assuming we don't know that this is the dark timeline. And he's been going on group dates and stuff, and the girls, Ruka and Ferris, are like, how could you do this to us? I don't remember Ruka from the original Steingate, but it's been like 3 or 4 years since I saw that. She a cutie, so I don't really feel like I'd have forgotten her. Mayushi gets a message from a Yuki, and we definitely haven't met Yuki yet. And she wants to meet up at the lab. And Okabe hasn't been there since the whole thing happened. And he is once again apprehensive. More so than he was to go to Akihabara. But cut to the lab, and they're not there yet. This is just Suzuha and Daru. And it was at this point that I remembered that I had watched the original Steins Gate in English, which wasn't bad. It's pretty good English dub. But I find Daru in Japanese really fucking annoying. I don't know if they changed his voice or what, but fuck, man. It's like he's trying to be annoying. So you find out, like, confirmed, this is the timeline that Suzuha comes back from. This is the dark timeline where everything goes wrong, where World War III happens, where Daru makes the time machine and sends his daughter back to change things. Like, this is it. She failed. There's another in it. And then Yuki and everyone shows up, and Yuki is Suzuha's mom, so it's Daru's wife. And Suzuha hides in the bathroom. I don't know why, because you find out later that Suzuha has told Yuki, or Daru has told Yuki that Suzuha is his little sister. I guess to, like, forego worries that they're dating or something. And they met at a convention, Yuki and Daru. And then Mayu and everyone shows up, and Daru and Okabe have a moment where they're like, Okabe's like, can I come in? And Daru's like, this is your fucking lab, dude. He's like, I guess it is. And then Okabe uses the bathroom where Suzuha was hiding, and Suzuha decides to hide on the roof because since Okabe hasn't been here since the whole Makise dying thing happened, he doesn't know that Yuki thinks that Suzuha is Daru's sister, so they don't want him to like spill the beans on why ever she was hiding. And that basically leads to them going to the roof for a conversation about like explaining that, and then Suzuha like being like, "Dude, you gotta do something. I came back here to get you to do something, and you failed once, but there's still time." And he's freaking out. He's like, "I've seen so many fucking world lines and so many deaths. I'm afraid to do anything. Humans are punished when they change the world lines. I don't want to do it anymore. It's impossible." And then they skip to the end of the whole like being at the lab phase, and it's Okabe and Mayushi on a train heading home, I guess, or whatever. And Mayushi like she feels the loss of all the people that used to be in the lab. Like she feels that things are more lonely now, but she doesn't remember. And I don't know if that's just Mayushi. Like she's not exactly all there. I don't know if it's that or if it's like because it's been like 4 years since I've seen the original. I really should have watched it before this, but whatever. I guess I'll figure it out as I go, or I'll read a synopsis or something. But she doesn't remember. But Okabe does, probably because he's the one jumping timelines or whatever world lines. And he receives a very normal invite to drink with his professors, and he tells Mayu about that, and she's like, "Dude, just go ahead, ditch me. It's no problem." So I guess they were gonna do something, but he does. And the beginning of this meeting starts with him in the bathroom with just a box of pills, like a little like daily pill thing. It's got like several kinds of pills, and he takes his pills. Or well, you don't see him take his pills, but you assume he takes his pills. Then he's out drinking, hanging out with people, and then he's walking home, and he remembers there's a forum the next day, and he's thinking about it, and it involves people that went to the same college as Makise, and he has a vision of all the dead hers that he's seen in all the different world lines, all the times that he tried to save her, which I think I vaguely remember in the original too. Like he goes through it a number of times, failing and failing and failing, and he finally saves her, and that's like what makes all those failures okay. But in this timeline where he doesn't save her, he's just watched her die so many times that he finally gave up, and that's where we're at. We're here in, Hyoma died giving up on saving Makise. Anywho, he fucking almost pukes or does puke, having memories of all the dead hers, and he's working at the lecture the next day, like at the entry, and he's also gonna go to a lecture. But some little girl comes up and she's like, "Yo, I'm here. Where's the staff room?" And of course, there's the whole fucking circle jerk fucking joke where it's like, "You're too short to be an adult. Do you need help, young lady?" And blah 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 blah. And turns out she is staff with the Brain Institute at the college that's holding the seminar lecture forum thing. And then he helps her, and Moika's there too. I believe Moika was also from the future, and she was sent to the past as part of the counterfaction to Daru's rebel faction in the future. So Moika's here. Don't know if this is just like the legit Moika or if this is like from the future Moika. Anywho, the lecture starts, and it's some white dude giving a lecture. So the little Japanese girl comes out, and she's like, white dude's like, "This is my assistant and will be my translator," and the Japanese girl's translating all this. And they're like, "Before we begin our lecture, we'd like to present to you an AI created on the back of the research, the author of a paper who is no longer with us, Makise Kurisu. And on the back of her research to turn human memories into data, we've created the first AI with a personality, memories, and a heart. An AI that feels. And this is Amadeus." And he gestures to the screen and the episode ends. You don't get to see it. But if you've seen anything, any of the trailers, Amadeus is gonna be Makise, or Okabe's gonna like make it Makise or something. They're practically the same. I'm gonna watch it. I loved Steins Gate, so I don't know why I wouldn't watch Steins Gate 0. Don't know why it's not called Steins Gate Amadeus, considering the AI program that is like the thing in this whole alternate timeline is Amadeus. But we'll see. I know it's based on one of the other endings of the visual novel that Steins Gate's based on. I don't know if the AI portion is a thing, because it feels semi-modern. It feels like they chose now to make this because like this deals with World War III, and war is kind of constantly on the public consciousness now, and so on and so forth. If you've seen the first one, watch this one. Well, if you liked it, watch this one. And if you didn't see the first one, watch that one. It is some of the best sci-fi thriller in the anime genre, I think. It's actually one of the videos that Digibro references in his How to Recognize a Good Anime in One Episode videos, which were kind of the inspiration for me making this channel. So yeah, it's a well-built anime, and you can see it in the first episode, and the plot hooks are there in the first episode. According to Mal, it'll be 23 episodes. I also need to watch the OVA, which I'll probably do. Alright, that's it. Peace out.